We are live. Happy Brown Steelers week, everybody. Holly Wetzel there. I'm Andy Billman here. In the midst of fall, Halloween, in a month that everything turns brown and orange.
Brown.
Brown.
Oh, wow.
Brown.
You didn't even rehearse that. That was just
and
off
orange.
The cuff.
What is even better is that was written before today. I wrote this last night. My Bill Shakespeare inspiration, drinking coffee in my smart water. I got inspired to become a little bit of a Bill Shakespeare. And I wrote some things down. And then, as we're going to talk about here tonight and probably for the next 24 hours, I do this wonderful podcast with Buddy Martin. And I also do one with Jared Watson. I do one with Holly Wetzel. You'll hear this name, Kaylee Waterhouse, too. We're all part of this gang of people. Brendan Martin, too. This little gang of people. And and we do this Best Fridays in Football. And we have Urban Meyer, former coach of the Buckeyes, former Gator coach. And we have Terry Bradshaw, Fox announcer and legendary, known for that team and, that team. They have towels. We have dog bones. They have
crappy, ugly colors.
Towels. Yellow towel. Back in the day when you were called yellow, that was a negative thing. That has not been perceived over in Pittsburgh. They just seem to continue on. We'll get to that in a second. So I'm working on the show. Very proud to be asked to be an executive producer on it. I actually do a segment on it. It's great. I love working with Buddy. I love working with Coach Meyer. Terry's, we'll get them. And, Brendan. So this week's Brown Steelers week, and I told Buddy Martin does all the interviews, does a great job. I said, Buddy, I want you to tee up Brown Steelers week. The Browns are good. This is fall. We're getting excited. And I go, for the first time, it feels like it's, Holly, it feels like we're taking off. We're doing fun things. We're going places. We got Myles Garrett being mentioned for MVP.
You're telling me there's a chance, and not in one in a million. Not in that 1 in a million talk, right? This is real shit.
We're actually at the 7-Eleven. We're actually going to win at the scratch off. It's actually going to fucking happen. So I told Buddy Martin, look, I want you to tee up Bradshaw. I want to get his thoughts. I'm sure he's got some memories. Turkey Leg Jones, Myles Garrett. I'm like, I want to hear what he thinks. I'm sure. And so Terry, which we're going to play the clip tomorrow morning.
You guys have to listen to this.
Yes. There's
fire you up.
There is several portions of this clip, but he basically said and surmised, he goes, look, I don't know who Andy is. He probably doesn't, even though I listen and work on the show. And I said, Hey Terry,
you're the producer.
Anyway. It's okay. Who cares, right? Who cares? No big deal. It's just a title, Holly. But I just got in my new Rolls Royce from this show. Fucking with everybody. Not true. Bentley. So Terry goes, look, what's so special about Cleveland? What is so special about that? What's all this hot stuff? Goes on to say some things about Mayfield. We'll play later in the week.
The stuff he says about Baker.
Ooh. Not nice. Not nice. Not nice. And here's the thing that I don't like about that stuff. Browns backers know, Holly Wetzel knows this, Jared John Watson knows this. My mom, James Martell Billman, knows this. Everyone knows this. Cam Billman knows this. The Browns fans are legions of fans. We pack together. And usually we show up. We will bring we have styrofoam chests full of fun. We bring there. We have good beer.
There's not even a reason to try and defend us.
No,
as Browns fans, Andy, you just know. And he goes after Browns fans.
Browns fans goes after me. He goes after everybody, and that's why this week. And you listen tomorrow, Cleveland Beyond. You hear the clip. That's why this week. And Holly and I talked about this already. This is about Steelers Browns week. And if you don't think this shit's for real, Stefanski's doing the right thing. Baker's doing the right thing. All these guys are playing it down. This is a real thing. This is Michigan, Ohio State deep. And by the way, for the first time, we're on the same plane. We have a chance of winning this game. It's time to take a step forward.
100%. They have never met with a combined winning percentage higher than the one they'll carry into Sunday. Huge.
It's time to win that game. And you know why? You know why Bradshaw's saying that stuff? Terry Bradshaw's saying that stuff because he knows the Browns are creeping. They're closing in. This is supposed to be the special year for Ben Roethlisberger.
Right? As Tomlin said, right? In the kitchen.
Right. Like this is the year where it's like, it's the Steelers' year. They're going to come out. They're going to, and you know what the thing is? The Browns with Stefanski, Andrew Berry, Paul DePodesta, and everyone on the field. OBJ, Landry, Myles Garrett, the MVP of the league, not just defense. He is playing like Lawrence Taylor. This team is ready for big things. And people like Terry Bradshaw are nervous, and they should be. Steeler Nation should be nervous. Yeah, the Browns are coming.
He's not getting really great ratings either, Andy.
No. And you know what?
He's nervous.
He is nervous, and he should be.
Bradshaw Bunch show. I don't know.
I don't know. It is funny though. But
I've actually heard it's funny. My sister told me.
Yes, it is clever. And
we gotta watch that and then review it and then make sure he hears our review.
Yes, of course. I'm sure he'll be tuning in. But let me just say again, this is for real stuff. This is real stuff tonight in this week. You're going to hear stuff from Bradshaw and from others. You know why? Because they're freaking the fuck out. Because the Browns are finally creeping in to where it's like, it's not cute and they're having a hot run and Hoyer's having good moments. No, this is getting serious. They're getting worried. And they should.
I love it. I'm so excited.
It's time to flip this shit around. And again, Holly, how many times, if we're being honest, and took a truth pill where we sat in a game, it's like, I know we're better, but and this year it does feel different. It does feel like the Browns are.
We never actually thought we were better, though. I mean, for many years, like we may act like, hey, maybe we can pull this out of our hats and get a W here, and I don't know. I mean, we actually can. And it's not even just we think we might be able to just pull this off. It's like, no, actually, it's a legitimate. And our stats back it up. We have a legit, if not more, chance to win this game and to win it in Pittsburgh at Heinz. I mean, that would just. I know, it gives you chills.
They might have to change that.
They're allowing fans at Heinz, right? Do we know how many?
Yes.
I've not looked that up. But.
You know what? You can't tell because all those dumb towels. It's hard to really tell like who's there, who's not. It doesn't matter. Look, they might change the field to Heinz 216 because it's coming. The momentum is coming. It's been a tattoo. Yeah. I mean, it is coming. Bradshaw's freaking out. I'm sure he's texting Big Ben. Oh my gosh, I'm just really hoping, and that this continues because this is a special year for you, and we're buddies now. And it's like, look, all that aside, right now, the Browns are getting closer, and there's been too much laughing stock, and it's been fair. We won't relive it. We blew. This is different. And the fan base that we are as the Browns, backers fans from Israel to Australia to Westwood, to Westwood. I meant Westlake. Westwood's like
my brother was sending me videos and pictures over in, he lives in downtown Chicago.
Yeah.
He was at a backers bar down there, and I'll be going there next month. And I can't wait. I mean, it's everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere. It is.
And again, like something I cannot say enough. What's exciting about this week is, and what's fun about this week is the Browns actually have a chance of winning, and it could be long term. Meaning, this is only look. I've heard some other things people saying, and it's it's a huge game. I just said it. I mean, I'm not going to damper off it. But at the same time, if we're all being honest, it's like, look, there are things, and if you lose this game, the season's not over, it doesn't unravel, everything like that. But this game, as Holly mentioned. This is a chance to turn things around. And you want to talk about a city exploding like Kenny Lofton coming around in 1995 scoring in that Seattle Mariner game. You want Tony Fernandez and that shot.
It might as well be the 90s because that's the last time.
Seriously, right?
Hey, speaking of, what were you doing in 1994? Let's talk about it. What were you doing in 1994?
I just started a paper out in Columbus, Ohio, Columbus Dispatch. I was a freshman at Bishop Watterson High School in Columbus, Ohio. And that was a weird year for me, too, because that's one of my more memorable wins. I know no one really I don't know why. I like that Browns team in Belichick a lot because we were winning, and we won a great game that year against the Cowboys. We won on basically is Jay Novacek, and they stopped Jay on the 2-yard line, 1-yard line. And it was a great win. It was Saturday, Browns, Cowboys in Dallas. And we won that game. And that was one of my more memorable, fun Browns because you knew after that, it's like, oh my God, like we're going, like this is so cool. And you again, that's a good example too. That year they beat the Pats. It was so much fun. Seinfeld was really taking off at that point.
Mhm.
The other big thing too, though, in Holly '94 for me was like, it was such like, oh, I think the Browns are back to where it was 5 or 6 years ago. And I actually will bring it back to that fandom. I don't want to do this tonight. It's not the right show. It was so gut wrenching because the Jake opened and then it closed because of the strike in '94. So the Browns propelled all that energy for me. And it was, you could just, even when they lost to Pittsburgh, it's like, oh my God, there's things that go. And then that whole 95 was such a tumultuous ride. 95 Indians, if anybody's listening to the show, 95 Indians is our glory.
Special. So special.
Oh my God, hit the shit out of the ball. Major league days are done. And this is the new city. And so I gave you way too long of an answer. So let me give it more briefly. 94, that was my time period. And I hate saying this because it is 26 years ago now. Oof. I was 15. It feels like a long time ago, and it was. It was 25.
Yeah.
26 years
I mean, I was 10.
10.
So, the Browns weren't probably my first go-to. I was 9, if you really want to get technical. I was getting ready for my 10th birthday at the good old skate station. Zach Zakowski, shout out if you're around, ever listening. He gave me a mood ring for my birthday, and I cried my eyes out in the bathroom of skate station.
What a guy.
So it was like my intel was already telling me to be scared of boys at that young age because I was already crying. It's going to happen at some point in my life, right? So yeah, I was 10, and it was I obviously don't remember all that much about how the Browns were doing when I was 10. That was not my focus, but I know that it was that long ago that I don't even remember. So that should tell you enough anyways.
Well, that's awesome. And Emily Courts wants to tell you, Holly, love you, Holly, from Facebook.
My bestie. Oh, she's the best.
Emily, we all lace up our roller skates the same way. Thank you so much. Scott Nee, the same. Yes. You know what the funny thing is? Now we'll go back to Steelers and Browns in a second. Roller skating was huge in the late 80s and early 90s. Huge. Oh,
yeah. I remember a place to hang. I mean, we went there all the time. Skate station for me. And it was awesome. I mean,
everything.
It was the hangout.
Everything. I remember I had my first, I don't know what you call it. It wasn't a date. You're only 12. But this girl asked me to go skating with her. And I was playing Little League Baseball, and the whole team teased me as they knew who she was. And like, oh, woo, Billman's going out, Stephanie Bell, woo. So I went to this skate ring, and I was an average skater. But as a typical male, I was like, you know what? Man, I've done this. I got this. Laced up my new boots, got some new strings. I just moved to Columbus. So I'm like, I'm going to impress her. I'm the new kid. I'm going to impress her. So I decided to do something.
Really cool knots in your skates.
Yeah. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. There was yes. So Stephanie Bell,
by the way, I never got really cool way to tie. Way to cool. Like I still can't. Emily, by the way, she like ties her Converse really cool.
Does she really?
Yeah, she can still. I don't know. She was in San Francisco for 10 years, so she's just like the cool.
Yeah, that doesn't count. They do cool things, and I mean,
she's just cool. She just wears flannels, and Converse, and just like whatever. She's just really cool. Always trying to keep up.
I got this line from an old girlfriend in high school. Some guys, some girls, Billman, wear flannels. Like it's nice. You wear a flannel like a lumberjack. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't wear flannels. I mean, her and I went shopping actually the other day, and I was like, hey, I was like picking out. I picked out probably like 6 different flannels for her. By the way, we were trying to sift through like 7 different ways of crop tops, and for that the girls were. That's another conversation for another day. Where like we send each other pictures of like if you wore this out, like can you imagine if I was like, hey, we're going out like we were when we were in college or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Like we'd get laughed out of like. We would never wear that. I mean, the crop tops and like the biker shorts and like the platform shoes in a flannel. Like it doesn't. No. It ain't happening. But anyway.
No, some people can pull off flannels and people that do wear them well. And then there's me. Like I said, I went through a flannel stage, and I remember, oh my gosh, Bishop Watterson, shout out Teresa Shea Tompkins. That's right. Bishop Watterson, West Side. There is a wonderful, wonderful pub on High Street called Lito's Bar and Grill. Salute to all those people out there. It is one of my favorite places. Emily, real quick too, back on Facebook, we chose instead to do the iconic belt over the tube top. Ick. Yes,
we did. We did.
Emily pulling out all the stops in memory lane in the 90s.
She's gonna start just typing memory.
Oh yeah,
I'm really gonna get embarrassed at this point. So
remember when we all had those cool jean jackets? And girls can wear jean jackets.
Yes, they can. I'm not a jean jacket person. But jean jackets are still I saw my sister last week and she was wearing one. We actually had a conversation about jean jackets and how they never really go out of style. And I'm like, again, I can't wear them. I feel really boxy. Not that Andy, you would know what that feels like.
I'm learning. I'm a single male. I need to learn. I have all boys. I need to learn. I have been told in the past by exes that I'm not good at, I don't know. I want to learn. I'm here. I want to learn. I don't know.
I mean, girls dress for girls though. I will say. We really do. I mean, half the time guys don't really care what we're wearing.
You know what? Yes and no. Boy, it's a deep road. Do we go down this road? We can. You want to go down this road?
Yeah.
There are some moments though where it does. Like there are. I guess here's what I say. When I'm like out, like it could be anywhere too, like business or meetings. It could be really anywhere. It is when you see someone like I've even gotten the same compliment, but it is like when you're not expecting something and you're like, hey, I was like, whoa, hi. Like it's hard. Like
nice. You know what I'm saying.
No, but it does. You do like the whole time you're meeting, like, I know, like you look really nice today. like I'll say it like 5 times. I'm like, this is
AKA wow. You actually dressed up and put makeup on because that's a big thing now these days because it's like, you're. Man, I mean, some days I've been more casual, obviously, and everyone has. I mean, the wardrobe is just completely to sweatpants, and I mean, trying to put makeup on or anything is just impossible, especially with the masks for girls. Let me tell you.
How is that working out? And by the way, as a mask goer for glasses, I can't tell you how many times I obviously wear normal glasses. I don't wear sunglasses everywhere. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. You have to find out. But I'll tell you the one thing I do with glasses when I go into like a grocery store, especially. It is awful. I have to fucking tuck those things right here. And it's like, because it's a fog. It's awful. Anyways, so what do you deal with the mask?
What's that?
What do you deal with when it comes to the mask? You saying,
I mean, there's makeup all over it. I mean, so it's just, you got to wash them. I mean, I buy like the cloth ones and stuff, and darker colors because I mean, it's all over. And it's not that I personally don't really wear a lot of makeup in general. So when I do, you can tell that I have makeup on, but that's a hard, I mean, it's all over the place. And I am not suffering with this. I'm pretty lucky. I don't get I've never really had any bad skin problems.
Oh, right.
Serious acne or anything like that. My skin's always been pretty nice. But there's a lot of girls, and I'm sure guys too, that are dealing with, they're calling it maskne. So from the awful. Sweating, and they're getting like lines and like zits and pimples and shit like all over. And
oh God.
I'm very happy and lucky that I am not facing that. So. Yes.
And by the way, to people out there who are hashtag blessed, hashtag good luck or hashtag gosh, I'm sorry. I want to make sure it comes out right. Mental hug. I didn't mean blessed. Hashtag mental hug. Is Tony, I'm going to mispronounce this, Lachevo. We care for sure, only if you have good taste. Come on, man, on Facebook. Tony, you're right. You're right. Look, I don't want to, well, I guess I'll come off this way. It does mean a lot at times. And I think I've been told it means a lot to a woman too.
When I say girls dress for girls too, by the way, if I'm going out with my friends like Emily and our little group of friends and stuff, we're going out, we're asking each other, what is everybody wearing? Because we don't none of us want to be able to, none of us want to stand out in the worst way. Nobody wants to be overdressed. Nobody wants to be underdressed. We just want to make sure we're all kind of on the same level.
Yes.
With our own little style. So that's what that is. But
yes. Joe DK says, hi, welcome to the show. Stick around. We got more. This has gone down a fun rabbit hole.
Yeah. So should we bring it back to the
We'll bring it back to the Browns rivalry. But I will say, yes, Tony, we do care. We care. It's a head turner. There's no doubt. But yes, all that, and yes, mask, and for everybody out there does the mask acme. Oh my gosh, I feel sorry. Hopefully that gets better.
Sorry.
Mask me. Ugh, I can only imagine.
We haven't got to, by the way. We didn't start out with what beverage I'm consuming tonight since we drank.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. There's a lot of things that we're gonna start doing in the show. Loving Ryan Garco. Many scary movies I'll never be watching. And I think a tradition on the show, and this is the time now, Holly Wetzel, who is a lovely woman, also has a great taste in drinks. And what do you have tonight, Holly? Display for the men and ladies out there.
Yeah, I've been on this beer kick, whatever. Well, I'm switching it tonight. Trader Joe's. The amount of money I've spent at Trader Joe's, I think I mentioned this before, it's got to just be outrageous. So tonight I am doing it's the Shell House. It's their seltzer, hard seltzer. I'm doing pomegranate.
Ooh. Yes, pomegranate. Shell House seltzer. Last week we got a happy plug from, who did you drink last week? Pressure, was it? Platform gave us a shout out. Platform, Trader Joe's.
So Trader Joe's, I put it in a spooky
Brown's mug.
Brown skeleton. Mm-hmm. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, Holly helps me out in the shows. I am not trendy, and she is. And so, again, I will display what I'm drinking. It'll be the same every week, aside from coffee. This is smart water with antioxidants. And again, I make the same joke every time. It helps my belly. So it's great stuff, and I love it. Makes me feel good, revived.
This is hurting my gut.
Well, I had a moment on, by the way, Browns are going to, I can't wait for Browns-Steelers game. I'm so excited. And, something that we harped around in the last 2 or 3 episodes, it is Brownstown. I think it's going to get ramped up. I give the players and Coach Stefanski credit. They've played down this game, which was, last year, Freddie Kitchens maybe did not do so much.
And they're learning. Again, what I say this, I feel like every week, they're going to prove themselves on the field. And Myles Garrett is going to be one of those that's going to have to do that this week, because he's going to face, that's why I asked about the fans in the stands, because will players maybe say some shit on off? Of course, they all talk shit on the field. But fans are going to be going after him at that time. And I don't know if it helps or hurts when it's a smaller crowd, because I think you can hear things probably a lot better. I haven't been to a game yet. But so if someone has and they want to say that they feel like they're being heard more by players this time than others, than from, I should say, previous years, let us know. But he is going to have to just keep his head down. And I think that he will. I really do. And I know they're trying to not make it any type of storyline. And Tomlin's kind of pressed on that. And they're trying to just keep it very even keel. And even Tomlin's comments about AFC North is a kitchen and we're in the kitchen. And was that a Freddie Kitchens dig?
And by the way, if it was, who cares? Freddie's gone.
Right. Tomlin doesn't, he's not like that. That's just not his style, I don't think.
Even if, I'll speak for me. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were having a great thought, but real quick, doesn't matter. Nothing against Freddie. Freddie's gone. He was 2 years assistant and then head coach. Sorry. I don't care. You want to tease Freddie Kitchens?
What if he did? He probably, whatever. Kitchens wore that shirt last year, which was in such stupid.
Oh,
so I don't know. I think behind that, a lot of people are like, who cares? I'm like, no, coach. And look where it got us. So it's not worth it.
No.
It's been a quiet, slow, but really heavy lead up to Sunday. I just feel like it's this weight that just keeps growing and growing, and it's going to bubble up. But I'm hoping that they prove and say everything they need to do with on the field and what they're doing. Baker's been so much more humble this year.
Yes.
I think is a huge thing. It was last game, wasn't it, where he said he knew that he didn't play his best. He did have a shit second half anyways, with the interceptions and stuff. Yep, but he did. He's very much more humbled, and I think the whole team is. And they just seem like this. They seem like fired up.
Yes, really, they do.
They're taking the silent assassin.
I love that name. I was given to Nick Chubb by Mayfield. A couple key points you hit on, which I want to hit on back. This team seems very focused.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like there's a plan. Last year, just to give quickly one thing on last year, and I'll end on Garrett, but I want to start on Kitchens. I want to wear that shirt. Pittsburgh started, cool. You want to wear that shirt? Cool. Jared Watson wants to wear that shirt? Cool. A coach wearing that shirt 72 hours before the game against Pittsburgh? Can't do that. Can't do that. And it fired up the Steelers, and it definitely played an impact in that game. Sorry.
Right.
Heard that from former players. Heard that from former players who have been in that game. That's how bad that was.
Leadership across the board.
Yeah.
Always held to a higher standard. And when you get in those type of positions, no matter what profession it is, no matter what organization it is, no matter what, I mean, when you're an adult and you're representing something.
Yes.
And more than just the players and everything else, but you're representing a business, you're representing a lot of different people.
A city. Right.
It's
a big deal.
You have to see the difference between the two and not play into that shit.
Yes. And look, not that we care because we are Clevelanders, but you're also representing Pitt in that shirt. Kitchens. It just is too much. You shouldn't be wearing that. Now to Garrett. Garrett's had a wonderful year. I will recap quickly. What happened last year was terrible. He got suspended and he got properly suspended, and that's it. He was angry. Things were said. I believe what happened, meaning I really do think.
No, I think it was said.
I think it was really said too. And the name escapes me real quick. Someone could text me. I forget his name. But anyways, I really do think those things were said by the Steelers quarterback. I believe Myles Garrett. I love him, and I'm behind him. And the way he's coming in this game is great. And you know why? Because it's one thing when a guy comes in the game, he's playing shaky or he's in and out or he's just a good player. Not only is Myles Garrett coming back to this game for the first time, he's coming in to make an impact. And they're worried about him. That's why Terry Bradshaw is saying shitty things today. Because he knows it's coming.
Rightfully so.
Yes. Look, this is again, we're Browns fans here. Holly and I are. But this is a big deal game. As Tomlin said, this is a national game. You know why he's saying that? Because it is. Mm-hmm. It really is. You know, at some years, we all know Steelers-Browns is a throwaway 1:00 game where we find out where we pick next year. This is not that game. Right. And it won't be that game week 17 either. I really believe that. This team is on its way.
We're going to have meaningful football in December.
Yes, we are. Yes, we are.
We can't ever say that. I mean, that's really, really exciting.
It is.
Because even if they do lose Sunday, that doesn't. It still puts them in a solid playoff shape with a loss. But with a win, it just solidifies and puts them in the driver's seat, and it's.
If they win, explosion, explosion. Like you're literally going to start seeing things from again mid-90s Indian stuff, LeBron stuff with the Cavs. Like you're going to start seeing that city pop. 80s Browns. You're going to start seeing it pop fast. I mean, like that.
Those, right.
Now, a few things that came up today. Definitely, it sounds like Baker's ribs are hurt. Sounds like he's going to play, but definitely it sounds like his ribs are hurt. That is what it is. No Nick Chubb, which he is our best offensive player. So that is what it is. But Dearness Johnson, who had that huge run in the Colts games. And obviously Kareem Hunt is a stud. We know Landry. We know OBJ. Hooper's been playing, and Hooper's been good from day one, but he's been getting the ball more. I just think the big thing, Holly, in this game is there's so many parts this team has been playing well. I mentioned on the last podcast too, Malcolm Smith, the linebacker, flying around playing well. Yep. Harrison, I hope he's okay. He's in concussion protocol. I'm picking that pick six. There's so many things.
That was a big pick six too.
Oh, huge. Don't know what fucking happened on special teams, but that's okay. But all that
we were texting about the special teams.
Oh, and Parkey doinked it in. So everybody
doinked
it in. But
usually doinks out. It doesn't doink in.
Don't put doink in. This is doink in. But all that to be said, there's a lot of good momentum here. And again, I want to hit on it. Yes, this is Myles Garrett's game because of his first return. It should be a big storyline. You should never dampen a storyline like that. That was a big thing that happened last year. But that aside, the bigger thing, and that's a big story. I actually think the bigger thing here is how he's playing right now. I really mean that. Holly has said it. I've said it. He's playing at an all MVP level, not just defense, but offense. MVP of the league. He is winning games.
Yes. And they're treating each week, Stefanski said, one game at a time. We're 1-0, we're 1-0. That's how they're treating it. And that's good. They're not getting ahead of it. They're not acting, if there's any criticism, I think it's the first half or the second half. My dad and I were talking about this. about how, you have to go back and adjust after the first half. And they're getting a little too relaxed after the first half and a little too lazy and kind of relying on that and getting a little too soft. And you have to also go back and adjust. You can't just ride off that win, because good teams will come back and beat you. And they almost have.
They have. Here's my, and I agree with Holly, and I agree with your dad. Here's my one thing I would add to that. Baker needs to play a little better second half. The numbers state that. I will also say in this game, in this past week, the one thing that I thought stood out, and he's a great player, but those Landry drops were big. I thought that threw off the timing of the rhythm of the offense. Those 2 drops were timely drops. Again, it's Landry. Do I think Landry's going to drop balls like that? Oh, God, no. It was just one of those fluke things that happened. But those fluke things, I think, threw off Baker. So in that last game, Baker was the catalyst of some of that stuff because he couldn't make plays. He threw a bad pick. But all to be said, he did play wonderful in the first half. The second half stuff was led by the defense, which was great to see. Right. That's where I saw the adjustments being made. The adjustments were made on the defensive end, which was great. And yes, to what your dad's seeing and what you're saying, which I agree with, some of that's on Baker too. I think Baker needs to play a little better. And there's going to come a point, and it may be this Sunday, where he's going to have to make some throws because we are down, 10 in late in the third, or we are down 7 late in the game. And, in those spots, yes, we run, but with the time, now the clock against you, you have to start throwing.
Right.
And that's where we'll see what we got here. And that's going to be a big moment for him. It's going to be actually, not for me, but for some people, it might be everything of what they really think of him. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This could go either way. It really could.
It really could. And you hate to say that because it's unnerving to hear that. But I'm being honest, as those Browns fans, we have seen Baker do great things. Again, he made some great plays in the first half. We can go through tons of examples in 18, even some last year, and definitely some this year. We just had some great plays. But if we're being truthful, outside of one game against the Broncos on a Saturday night in 18, he really hasn't had a moment where he's led the team down the field to win.
No. Yeah. This has been, even after the first game this season, everybody's like, he may not be the guy. Maybe he's just not the guy. Maybe we've been trying and he's just not the guy. The chemistry has just not been there with the other teammates. There just hasn't been that click. And now things are clicking, and it's
I have done a 180 on Baker this year.
Yeah.
I actually think I see small progressions. I love his attitude. I like his spunkiness. And I actually do think the guy's very tough. That shot he took was a tough shot. He went down hard. Houston drove him down to the ground. That was a hard play in that game. But Baker got himself up, and he said, even from second one on a mic, I'm playing next week. And that is a great leadership thing. And that is something that will lead people into battle with you. And that is so important in life and so important in football, as we all know.
Yeah, he's a leader, and he has to act that way.
He
I
is.
love the team captains every week. I think they're doing a different team captain every week, and just keeping everything and everyone on a very even playing field, pun intended.
Steve Stefanski is not only good looking to women, and probably men too, but he's smart.
Probably very fair in relationships, and he probably compliments his wife on what she wears.
I know.
Even if it's a jean jacket or a tube top. He probably
or a simple blue t-shirt.
Or a simple blue t-shirt.
Or a simple
probably
blue
buys
t-shirt.
her a mood ring like Zach Dizikowski got me. Probably a real one, though. The real gem.
Well, I'll do my good job as a host. So, Holly, you do look lovely tonight. I love the hoop rings. I love hoop rings.
I'm a hoops girl. Oh, my.
I love hoop rings. Love hoop rings. Hoop rings for life. 4L. Maybe someday I'll get hoop rings. That'd be a show in itself.
That would be a show in itself. We might have to have an offline conversation. I
think it's going to be me and a Merlot bottle or Merlot problem. And, we'll go through that. But it is a big week. We are, again, excited about this. We'll wrap it up with this stuff. We'll go through some other stuff now. But it is fun, and it's great to have, everybody getting into it. And Emily wanted to remind you, Holly, just to take it easy on Facebook. Take it easy. So, just want to take it easy. Good friends there.
You can't help your best friend, she's just
one of the best.
She always keep me humble.
Well, all that to be said, we'll transition quickly to some other things. We'll wrap back around the Browns. Guys, is becoming a Brown show, which it should.
It is, but
the bigger thing this week that Holly and I have been texting back and forth about is the NBA ratings being down.
Yeah.
So and by the way, I want to do a one side note. Later in the year, probably on the Browns off week, I want to get into MLB ratings. I think that's a bigger discussion and a very different discussion. I don't want to do it tonight. I have a theory of Major League Baseball ratings, but I don't want to do that now. So stick to the NBA. The NBA ratings were way down. LeBron James won the championship. Is excited for LeBron. Holly Wetzel, I will ask you every time I do now. Do you care? What do we think? I'm excited. I was excited.
There was a lot of I saw on social media, Twitter's just like this small little universe of just people think that it like speaks for everybody. And really at the end of the day, it's this little bubble of what people do. And it's just funny to me, people's opinions get blown into these major stances. And it's just in half the time that there's nothing behind it but a thought or an opinion, and a lot of it was like, does anyone care about the NBA, I guess, as a whole, because the ratings are down, by the way, from last year, 51%. It's
a deep drop.
That's not just a little bit. That's not, I mean, there's a lot of factors, but that's a big drop.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think when the Cavs were in the finals, I mean, and also against Golden, even when they played against Golden State the last, I think 2 years, the ratings did decline a little bit. And I even wrote about it.
Slightly.
There was no, the parity in the league is always the big issue because there isn't that much parity in the league. That's when Durant had went there. And so there was a lot of that. But it dropped hugely, and it made me think about, do people care about the finals? Specifically, I thought in Cleveland and LeBron. Of course, Akron cares. And I care to a certain extent. I mean, honestly, on Sunday, and I even tweeted this, that I forgot about LeBron on Sunday. I legitimately did for a few hours. I was riding a high. I was super excited. And LeBron doesn't play for the Cavs anymore. I don't hate LeBron. I think he's one of the greatest players ever. I am so happy that he brought us a championship, and I will be forever grateful. And I got nothing against the guy. But was that my main focus on Sunday night? No, it wasn't. But I definitely watched the games throughout. I thought there were some really great matchups throughout the playoffs.
I agree.
I think the Heat deserved to be there, and would they have been in a non-COVID bubble year? No, but Jimmy Butler was super fun to watch.
Spoelstra's a great coach. Riley's a great president. Look, here's some things, and to take your cue here. So the NBA bubble playoffs were great. If I'm being truthful, once the Clippers got eliminated, I started checking out too, because from what I was watching, the best two teams were the LAs. It was the Lakers and Clippers. I mean, you just kept watching and you're like, well, these are pretty much the best two teams. The NBA ratings were way down. Do I think that they'll be fine 2 years from now? Yes. But does that not mean that they should not be cautioned or warned about it? Yes, because that is not a slight dip, meaning that there is a climb back up. I think the NBA will be back there. I do. I think the product's there. A big article that came out on desertsun.com, which is a wonderful article. People should check it out. He really got into some things that made me think. And so I want to bring some of them up is like, I think a part of the problem with the NBA, Holly, was it wasn't in our regular calendar viewing cycle. And I think that's been a big part of sports outside of football.
Yeah, and it's going up against a lot of other things. It's going up against the MLB playoffs. It's going up against the NHL. One of the nights was NHL playoffs, college football. They're playing on football was playing on a Tuesday this week, which, I mean, that's great. But again, and going up against the Bachelorette. I haven't looked that up yet, actually. I'd be interested to see those ratings.
That's a lot of trending. A lot of trending last night. A lot of trending.
And what made me think a lot about the finals and just the ratings in general are a lot of the sponsorships that are going to be affected. Those patch sponsors that they wear on the jerseys. Last year, I think they generated around $150 million of revenue. With some individual deals for those patches. So that'll be interesting. That's just another way that they were generating revenue that could possibly be going down next year. Because when those eyeballs drop, and that's how they're selling a lot of that stuff, and they're going up against the election year, right? So
yes.
Always goes back to that.
So the quick point, then let's go to the election. The one thing I'll say on all of this is the NBA has work to do. There's some things that were lost. I still think the product was very good overall. I thought the product in the bubble actually was excellent. You kind of teased it up too.
They did a great job. There's a lot of people. You can have an opinion and say, yeah, like I didn't really care as much this year without being like, I hate the NBA and I'm never watching. I mean, there's also a lot of political stuff with that. And I think, again, I touched on this last week. There's a really fine line of entertainment. And when people escape and want to escape and get away from a lot of the bad shit in the world that's going on right now.
Yeah, right.
Sports is obviously a very large form of entertainment. And so when those worlds start to oversect each other, I think that's a lot of harder for people to kind of decipher on how it made them feel versus how it makes them feel now, and can they get that real escape. There's not any real right or wrong answer, or really right or wrong way to look at it, because I think the way that what the NBA has done has been really great with the Black Lives Matter movement and all the awareness that the players have brought. And I mean, there's more people that are voting now this year, I think, than ever. I mean, there's so much positivity around that. So it's hard to get down on it. But at the same time, I do feel like where our normal outlets have been are not there anymore. And so maybe that's why a lot of people are like, you know what, if I wanted to watch, to go into a political this or that, I'd turn the news on. So I'm just not going to put it on. I'm going to go put on Netflix or something, because then I'm going to have to think about it. And that doesn't make them a bad wrong person. It's just, I think they're looking for that escape. And
I agree.
To process it all. So it's a double-edged sword. It's really tough. So I think that definitely played into a lot of what was going on with the ratings across all the sports, but especially in the NBA, because they've definitely been the most vocal.
Oh, yeah.
So
no question. Habits. Look, the pandemic has changed our habits. It has changed our routines.
Everything.
I think it's thrown off some of these ratings. And I agree with this article. I think it's thrown off a lot of these ratings at times. Obviously, the French Open, no one cared in tennis. No one cared about the U.S. Open golf. I was happy LeBron won. If I'm being honest, did I watch game 5 or 6? Not really. So, it was hard to get into the games. Holly's right. And that bigger part of it. The other thing, too, that's playing around this, and I don't want to do too, but I just want to make sure we're aware of it, is, the election, Supreme Court stuff, all that stuff is surrounding everything. And usually there are buffers, what you're describing. There's usually pretty good branches of things where it's like, here's a beam here and a beam here. You come in here, you're coming out. Right now, those beams are gone, and it's just one big open studio. And outside of football, you do feel some rigidness. But even outside that, but even like and we're all exhausted by it. So I'm going to stop, as I know no one likes hearing about it. But my other quick comment is, I love college football. Big college football fan. One of the biggest 2 college football stories right now, Nick Saban came out, was positive COVID-19. And the other big story is the Florida Gators had to move their game back because they have COVID-19 breakout. And because that whole subject matter has become a big hot topic, it just spreads, and that's it. I mean, it's become a bigger. Oh yeah, it's just become a bigger thing. And so, in my opinion, sports will be much better off once the election's gone. Oh, now it's not going to solve all the problems, but it's going to solve some of it in most. Yeah.
And we'll get over this year. We'll get back and some really. I think there's going to be a lot of positive changes out of this year. At the end of the day, yes, with a lot of things, it's just been a tumultuous year for sure. And I think people are also dealing on an emotional front of a lot of things and how to deal with it. We're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves across.
Yes, we are.
In every facet of our lives, and so and again, I think that's why we have these outlets. And when those worlds get crossed a little bit, it's hard to decipher what it all means. So the ratings, they took a huge nosedive from last year. I do think that the viewing, like we said, is spread, and then also, of course, the finals. And the NBA is not the only league that with the ratings that are down. I mean, sports is still dominating all of prime time when they're on.
Yes, they are.
So that's not going away, but they're definitely taking a hit across everything. The
MLB ratings, which we're going to do on a different show, have been alarmingly down too. Now here's something that's
not locally, which is let's do this another. We'll definitely get into this another show. Because especially in Cleveland, the Indians
Cincinnati ratings are way up. Cleveland ratings are way up. Some parts of Atlanta ratings are way up. So it's a whole thing. Again, it's for a different show. It'd be a good off-week topic when the Browns aren't playing. Here's one other thing, too, that caught my eye in the ratings this week. In cable sports on Monday, the top 3 were Monday Night Football, the ESPN preview show, and SportsCenter 9 a.m. Or no, I'm sorry, midnight. I don't say why 9 a.m. Midnight. The number 4 show by a large margin was WWE. WWE keeps cranking. It's
years.
unbelievable.
I used to be a huge WWE fan back in high school, actually, and I was huge Rock fan. The Rock, I mean, that was in his prime time heyday. I read his
That's
book.
a Holly Wetzel. I know you now. That's a Holly Wetzel character.
I was obsessed with him, and I loved Mick Foley. I actually went to
that's cool.
The IX Indoor Amusement Park, which recently just shut down for good. But if anyone had ever went to an indoor amusement park, I hate rides, by the way. But
I hate them too.
Because Mick Foley was signing autographs, and I wanted him to sign my sock.
Oh yeah, that was his big thing, Socko. Yep.
Yeah, and I was a huge wrestling. At that time, it was the WWF. So, and then I fell off of it. There's still a lot of really loyal people that watch it. I haven't.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything.
Tried to get back into it either, though.
Yeah, I mean, my day was obviously to Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. My favorite characters, Bruce Barber Beefcakes. I liked him cutting hair. Jake the Snake.
Hulk Hogan on Twitter, by the way, because you should, because he's actually pretty funny.
I need to start following him. Yeah, I follow Ric Flair. Rick's good. Rick's always in character, no matter where he is.
If you follow Jerry.
Oh my gosh. Jerry Lawler, by the way, huge Browns fan. He has been coming out. I like him. I'm starting to follow him. Jerry the King Lawler been coming out.
He knows how to post a selfie. He posted a selfie last week.
Guy's camera savvy. What a shock. But I was definitely in that era. My brothers and I all loved it. We watched Survivor Series, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, all that stuff. And it's just, for everything in the pandemic, the reason why I pointed that out is that actually number, in a way, I said, well, is that surprising? I said, well, you know what? This was proof something. That product with no fans still generates good ratings, big storylines, and big viewership. It's amazing. It's really amazing.
That is entertainment at its finest.
Vince McMahon, he's got you in your claws. Before you know it, he's got you in every time. I was also, one of my favorite things, real quickly, loved Bobby Heenan. Even though I didn't like him at the time, I loved his anti-heel character. Love that character. And I also love Macho Man. Love the Macho Man. Love the Macho Man. Yeah. Sherry or Miss Elizabeth. Either's fine. Take them all. No pickiness. Set the edge. Take them all. It's never do a Slim Jim.
I liked Ass Man. If you remember Ass Man.
I don't remember Ass Man.
I think that, oh God, sorry, wrestling people. That's actually not his name. He came out to that I'm an Ass Man song all the time.
By the way, as you think of that, can I ask you a random question that's on the topic of asses and stuff like that? So this player for the Dodgers, Bueller, with the tight pants, are you following this story?
No.
There's this player, Walker Bueller, who wears his pants way too tight, like spandex leggings tight. And so after his loss on Game 1 or Game 2, Porter goes, Walker Bueller, you've been trending on Twitter and social media tonight about your pants being too tight. He said to the guy, I think his name's Michael, not tonight, Michael, not appropriate, not tonight. Oh, God. And it opened up a whole door. I'm going to save that topic for next week. We should get into that world.
That'll work really well with the NBA ratings topic. It'll just all kind of
our love of plaids, Walker Bueller. It's all going to be great. All going to be great. Before we go back to Browns, there's one more thing. Did you watch that video I sent you on gender reveals?
Okay. This is the fun stuff. We were talking about let's do fun stuff, and I watched that, and then I actually found some others. So yeah, we can talk about, I guess our fun topic this week is how fucking asinine gender reveal parties are and why people need to stop doing them because they're causing fires.
Yes, in Arizona. Yeah.
Yes, and there was another one. So another one I found out, this woman, she was 56. She died from a gender reveal accident.
How? Why?
She made a homemade explosive device, thought she could do it from homemade.
Oh, no.
It was supposed to shoot colored powder up in the air, and it said exploded, and a piece of metal struck her in the head, and it killed her instantly.
Was it a boy or girl? Sorry, is that too soon? Too wrong?
Probably. But that's there was another one I read that there was a girl, they went to a zoo and they had a hippo. They fed a hippo a watermelon filled with Jello. Like apparently a hippo can eat. And this
think about what you just said. I'm not going to cut you off after this. A hippo eating Jello for gender reveal. Okay, where does this go?
In a watermelon, stuffed in a watermelon. They threw the watermelon into his mouth. And he ate it, and it was a boy. And I'm like, for what? For what? Last time, my sister, actually, I had a dream. My sister's last two kids, I had a dream, and I was right about both. But it's like, hey,
nice.
That's what I'm having. And then my brother and his two kids, it was the child's born. This is a boy or this is a girl.
Yes.
Yes. Why? It's stupid. It's dumb. Stop doing it. People need to stop doing it.
Yes. So I have 3 boys. The last one, now my ex-wife, but the mom of all 3 kids, she did not want to know. But the other 2, we found out accidentally because we saw the cannoli on the ultrasound. And it's funny, like on all those other, like I remember every time, it was not a thing in the early 2000s. And what's interesting to me, and I hate to bring it down because I think this whole gender reveal thing is, it's out of control. The one that's, okay, on TikTok, you can find it. I will post it on the show. There is a video of these 2, I don't know, ballooned it's like the new balloon costume things that are funny. And they're boxing.
Like the sumo, like the big sumo wrestler.
Yes.
Blow up that you can be for Halloween or whatever. Yeah,
it's like a dinosaur. It could be, in this case, it's 2 bears, I think. They box and they fight, and the boy is out the girl, and it's a boy. So strange.
But fight, like a ring fight, WWE style.
Yes.
On the front lawn.
Yes. It was all, that was sad. That one, explosion cake woman dying.
Do people not work? Do people not have jobs? Or
do people have money to spend? You should fucking sponsor this show.
Exactly. We're in a pandemic. You're not spending money on costumes of babies or bears or whatever we're fighting each other. Like, it just doesn't. I don't know. I don't think that way.
No. And so my biggest thing as a dad and as a parent at that time, what was my thing? Is he or she healthy? Is he or she healthy?
Right.
How's my wife doing? Is he or she healthy?
And
how's my wife doing?
Throughout the whole pregnancy, it's just as scary. I don't have kids, and if I ever do, and I think about that a lot, I would be a nervous wreck throughout a lot of the process and be very scared because of all the different things that can happen. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, it's an incredible moment. All that stuff's true, but the whole time I was thinking, it's like, how's everybody doing? Is everybody healthy? How's everybody doing? Is everybody healthy? How's everybody doing? Is everybody healthy? I mean, that's what anyways.
Right. Well, yeah, and side note, so I volunteer. I don't know if you even know this. I volunteer in the pediatric ICU at a hospital here in Cleveland, and a lot of kids are really, really sick. From all different ages, babies to teenagers, and it puts a lot of things in perspective. And it's like, that's what's important. You know what I mean? Not this stuff. It's just anyway. Not to go off on that tangent, but just
this gender reveal stuff makes it about the parents, when it really should be about the child and the mother. That's what I learned. And I'm not just saying that. To new fathers or fathers to be, it is nothing to do about you at all. Build stuff, help her, and help the baby. That's your job. Because you have no fucking clue until it comes out. I told someone,
what women go through having a child is just unbelievable.
Oh, folks, for someone who's seen it 3 times, it is. If you're a guy, they're like, I'm going through it too.
Oh yeah.
No. Not even pennies on the dollar. No. Anyways, just had to say.
No.
See,
women are troopers.
I am not a crier. Cried all 3 times. bawled, and I'm not a crier. I feel bad. There'll be a big emotional moment. I'm like, does anybody want a sandwich? I'm hungry. Both my kids. I was
try and bring it down, but here you are. Yeah, right.
I was a mess. I couldn't even cut the umbilical cord with Jackson. I was so emotional. So it was amazing. So, all right. All that to be said, gender reveals. Blech. We'll do another fun topic this week. Browns Steelers week. Holly gave a big week. We'll wrap it up there, but real quickly, give some shout outs. I do a thing for, it's called Cruelis, a center here in Meriden, Wallingford, and Cheshire. It's about domestic violence and stepping up for that. I'm going to be putting signs around town. For people who do follow this Facebook page, I might be posting stuff. Please support that stuff. Stopping and shouting out and pointing out domestic violence is very important. It's one of the things that I stand for. It's one of the, everybody should
Awareness Month, October.
That's why I bring it up. Mm-hmm. So Cruelis is my foundation I'm on. It's something we should all believe in this. I don't know why we don't. That's why I joined the sports. I'm on the board and I'm fighting hard for this. Please, everybody support that stuff. It's Domestic Violence Awareness Month. That's something I do. Everybody should take part of it. We need to join together. It's something that it's not a singular thing. Everybody should join together. I'm done off my soapbox there, but I think it's very important to say. Also this week, Jared and I will be on tomorrow morning to do more on the Browns Steelers thing. You're going to see Holly Wetzel more in weeks to come. That's right. We're going to see you more weeks to come. Mm-hmm. It's going to be exciting. You're going to see a young lady named Kaylee Water also helps me. Also, shout out to Buddy Martin. He's the man. I love Buddy Martin. Check out his stuff. He does great football stuff. He's obviously an SEC Gators guy. I know some people don't like that, but check that stuff out. He does good stuff there. Then finally, to everybody out there, obviously best price in football, Terry Bradshaw talking smack about us. Talking smack about his Browns fans.
It's going to get you even more fired up. I mean, he knows what buttons to push, and he pushed them.
When I played the clip for Cameron Billman tonight, right before we came on, actually, I played it for Holly next. He goes, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that. Don't want to hear that.
Yep.
Wetzel, final thoughts as you go into the game this week. Final thoughts. What do you think?
I just I think the way that I started it prove everything you need to on the field. Do what you got to do. I think that's keep your head down, do your job, play hard, stay focused. And I we got this. I really, really think that we do. Don't get too relaxed.
Yep.
Stay on top of shit. Listen to each other. I'm sure that they're all listening to what we have to say right now about before I could be in their
Stefanski. I didn't want to say anything, but one of the eyeballs is definitely Stefanski tonight on this broadcast, no doubt.
Right. I Baker with Stefanski, so.
Oh, that's right. I didn't think about that. If Stefanski or Ryan
again, I'm just gonna take it easy. So, but yeah, so that's it. I just go out there and just fucking win. Just prove it.
Yes.
Everything on that field. That's all. That's all you got to do.
My big note here, too, obviously the Browns are going to come in underdogs, as they should. That's not unfair. That's fair. The Browns don't.
Plays good with a chip on his shoulder. He always has.
They should be loosey-goosey. They should be focused. The only thing I will say, I really mean that. This is more to lose for Pittsburgh. They need this win. It's a home game in a division. They need this game. The Browns want this game. It's a big game, but the Steelers need it. It's a big difference here, in my opinion. The other thing that I will say in this game, though, is, and I will say this to anybody, this game is different. This game is very, very, very different. And I've learned this from living in Columbus and growing up in my latter years in Columbus with the Ohio State-Michigan game. It's a different game. My only warning is, I love this mantra, next game, 1-0, 1-0. I will only say to the players, this is a different game. You saw Chris Harbaugh talk about it. You've seen some other players talk about it. Steelers week's different. You can say 1-0 against Ravens and Bengals, and I'll buy it. Steelers week's different.
Yep.
Different week.
Heavy, very sensitive build up. It's just this intense. It's just like we're sitting here and we're just like, almost like pacing, shaking a little bit, ready to just fucking go. So
load.
I can't wait.
Oh my God, I can't wait. Well, we got 1 minute left. Thank you for everybody watching. We had a good audience tonight. Shout out to Emily Courts. She seems like a great lady. Holly's a good friend. Tony Las Chavo. Thank you. Scott Nee. Teresa Shea Tompkins. Again, I'm a Bishop Watterson grad. Thank you for the shout out there too. Everybody listening out there, keep on your comments. Tune in tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. for Cleveland and Beyond. Go Browns. Beat those fucking awful Steelers.
You said it.
Beat the fuck out of them. Just beat them, or just win by 1 point. Either way's fine. Just
no, beat the fuck out of them, and now we can end the show on that.
Holly Wetzel there. I'm Andy Billman here. We'll see you next week on Shut the Edge, 8 o'clock.
Thanks. Bye.